Hi everyone, it's Sandy and it's time for the full moon rose reading. I had actually planned to do this reading yesterday, but the energy I experienced shifted last evening and there just didn't feel to be the clarity around the energy to actually do the reading live last evening. So I just had to honour that and actually go, no, actually this is I need to move out of this immediate window of this this full moon, because it was an absolute doozy. Hi Jonathan, hi Francine. It just was super strong. And I know there's been quite a few people I've spoken to that have gone, holy moly, what happened? You know, I was doing okay. I was trucking along quite nicely. And actually, you know, everything sort of went pear-shaped yesterday afternoon. Anyway, you know, I mean, yeah, Elias, it certainly was. It was intense yesterday afternoon. Hi, Lizette. So, you know, sometimes we just have to go with the flow of what's arising and honour that. And actually this brings us into the best alignment with ourselves that we can be in honouring when's the right time to act and when's not. Hi, Claire. Hi, Laura. So, yeah, I think these are just really fascinating times in this path, hi Lynn, of navigating, you know, our own path of mastery within what we are experiencing, what's coming up in the moment. And this is just an extraordinary time, something that none of us could have envisaged probably 3 or 4 months ago. And certainly when we entered this year and we entered into that Saturn-Pluto conjunction on January the 12th, who knew? You know, none of the astrologers really had a clear vision as to what exactly we would be experiencing, other than this would be a year unlike any other year that we've experienced. And certainly it's proving to be that on a global scale. So in this feeling of this energy of this full supermoon, and it was Vesak, the Indian festival that is said to be when the Buddha and the Christ energies are most available. That there is it was said in the tradition that I trained in, which was Arhatic yoga, was that, you know, at the point of Vesak, that a group of aspirants would go to a secret valley high up in the Himalayas, and they would form a sacred geometry formation in order to be present and ready to receive the downpouring of the divine light that was available through the dispensation of the Buddha Christ field of frequencies, and that was then dispensed to humanity within that following month. So this time of year is always a particularly significant time of year for the spiritual aspect of our journey. Hi Leslie and hi Julie. You know, these are powerful, powerful energies. So when I sort of tuned in as to, you know, the nature of what was calling forward, you know, it was once again this refine and align energy. It's like that we're being called, even though we are still in lockdown, we are still in this social isolation process. This place of refining and aligning is really potent and feels really up in this particular full moon. You know, it's in Scorpio, and it's been that deep, emotional, watery energy. And of course, what we're seeing in our outer landscape is new revelations, new pieces of information and background, particularly about our experience of the virus, and what that's bringing up for us individually and as a collective, as an experience. But in what's coming up externally for us, of course, there is also that matching pattern that says what's with, you know, in as above, so below, as within, so without. And so what's coming up in the collective is also mirroring a shift in consciousness that is going on within each and every one of us. So it's, you know, the question is, what's being brought up within you? And particularly through this Scorpio full moon, what's being brought up to be seen? What's being brought up so that the light of consciousness can shine upon it? And so what is revealed in it is the gold that is what we can take from any of these experiences. So, you know, this is going to be an interesting period that we are entering into, because we've got Pluto retrograde, which is the old ruler of Scorpio, and we are also going into a retrograde period of Saturn, Venus and Jupiter, and they're all going to be retrograde over this summer period. So I don't see us having a lot of respite too soon in what we're needing to process and what we're needing to get through. You know, retrogrades will call us within. It's a deepening process. There will be you know, a lot of inner reflection that is being called for at this point, and that's purposeful, because the light that shines brightest, as I'm experiencing it anyway, is towards the winter solstice. And there is a Jupiter Saturn conjunction that actually I feel will give us a real sense of illumination and a pathway forward, which, you know, will be very welcome for so many of us. In my Rose Heart Inner Mastery program, what we've been looking at is that this process of being able to sort of project your focus to that point of that winter solstice, and from the point of view of, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? How do I want to live? And how do I want my life to be when I get to this place at the end of this year? And it's quite a useful exercise. You know, do feel that you're welcome to sort of explore that for yourself, because it's not that we're sort of projecting into the future in that same way. It's not about the form of your experience. It really is about how you want to feel in your beingness. And what you do is you create that vision forward, and you bring it back to you on a golden ribbon, a luminous golden sparkly ribbon of light, so that you can start to walk towards and embrace all of those feelings in current time, and help yourself navigate the pathway through. It's like giving yourself a golden pathway of navigating through. This is tricky times. These are really tricky times. You know, we can go along for a few days and it all seems okay, and we're balanced, and you know, we can do this. We're okay. We can do this. And then, if you're anything like me, there is a side swipe in the fact that you realise, you know, you know, a hug, missing a real-time hug, and missing, you know, my friends that I would normally have dinner with, and my family and my grandchildren. You know, this is really tangible in what we're experiencing. And yet knowing that actually this pathway at so many levels is really purposeful, because if we go back to this refine and align, this is what it's calling us to. What really matters now? What is your life about? What did you come here to master? What did you come here to work your way through? And what are you going to shine your light? What lens are you going to shine your light in the world as we move through this period? Hi Katie, hi Phyllis, hi Jojo. So yeah, this time has richness to it, and it has a purpose, a deeper purpose for us, and you know, and also, you know, refining what we have around us, what we put into our bodies, what we're thinking about, so that we optimize our immune system. The immune system is absolutely key at this point. So in whatever and however the journey unfolds, you know, whatever we can do that actually boosts our immune system is where we want to bring the focus. Fortunately today in the UK, we have had a glorious early summer day, or a late spring day. It is, it's just been super. And we really, certainly for me, to be able to sit outside in the garden, the roses aren't quite out there yet. Nearly, they're really budded up. But to have the sunshine and the vitamin D, and to be able to appreciate nature, I'm very blessed to be living where I do in the forest. So the other thing to say is that, you know, as from May the 6th, the moon's nodes change signs. So what we've got here, hi Liz, hi Lynn, hi Anna. What we've got here is a shift. There's a tangible shift of consciousness that is going to hold us now into a new experience ready for the next 18 months. And so the focus will be perhaps not so much on home and sustaining, but actually on creating breakthroughs, on creating new pathways and new ways of managing circumstances, managing our life. New solutions will be coming forward, new technologies, new light technologies that will enable us to deal with circumstances like the virus. So I think that there's a lot of good to come if we can all keep the focus and hold that intention of the highest outcome in this process for humanity and for our families, and for obviously our own soul's journey and our soul's purpose for being here at this time. So, shall we see what the roses have got to offer? I'm going to draw 5 roses today, and I'm also going to work an unwinding process to release anything that is no longer appropriate for our highest and best journey at this point, so that we can breathe in the pure love that these rose codes offer us. And yeah, just trying a different format for how I share the roses. You know, as you know, those of you that have followed this rosy path with me, you know, doing rose readings is actually a default. It was never anything that I'd planned. This is a healing and personal development tool, and the roses are pure love. They offer us a pathway of insight and a pathway of inspiration to come home ever deeper to ourselves. They are really a pathway of sacred homecoming, which is just beautiful to work with. So let's see what the first rose is that wants to come forward for our grid this evening. So we have Rose Bhagwa 3, and Rose Bhagwa 3 is one of the roses from the Rose Bhagwa, clearly, which are 9 of the roses within the set that each hold a note or a voice for our journey in life. They come from a heartfelt expression, so they're like the inner feng shui of love. And this particular rose, it sits in the place of wisdom teachers and illuminators. So this rose, I always feel, has got a lot to do with teachers on the higher realms. And so there is a calling with this rose for us to open, to listen, perhaps listen in a new way, listen with our hearts to what is being called forward, where we can listen to the whispered messages that our guides and healing mentors on the light realms have got for us, as well as recognizing that we have tools in the tool bag. For most of us, we've been on this journey for a long time, and we have amassed tools in our tool bag, energy tools in our tool bag, and it's now time to take the tools out of the tool bag and to really be willing to work with them at the deepest possible level. You know, this is our mastery, this is our path of really owning our own story. So this is the first rose I'm working with the Venus pentagram grid this evening, and I will be posting a picture of the completed grid once we have done the reading and done the work. Hi Serena, hi Cindy, hi Melanie. Let's see what the second rose is that wants to come forward in the grid tonight. Rose 3. Rose 3 sits, she's part of the original 11 roses on the rose grid, and she's part of a healing set on the body. They work in the chakras of the body, bringing balance and clarity. This rose sits on the spleen chakra, so she is just asking you to open to joy. She works with the spleen pancreas energies. So she's really open to fun. This is the time when you really need to open to your joy and find pleasure, find joy in every moment of your day. This helps our immune system. I mean, the spleen chakra is part of the filtration of the blood, and my sense is very much a sense of boundaries and being really clear about our energy, supporting our energy for life. And as I say, weaves her energy with the pancreas. So there is this place of the sweetness in life, bringing forward the sweetness in life. The spleen also is the place of, it's the chakra in the body where we absorb the solar prana, and the spleen breaks that prana down into the different color rays that are absorbed by the different chakras. So she's a gorgeous rose to work with. And we all need more joy, that's for sure, in our navigation tools to get through this particular piece of the journey. So, and we do know that joy, boosts the body on so many levels. So let's see what the next rose is. Rose Bagua 9. So we've got 2 of the Rose Bagua roses. This particular rose sits in the place of fame and the ultimate piece in our journey. And as I said, you know, if you can actually start to visualize how you want to feel, you know, what qualities that you would like to experience in your day-to-day life and to see in your world, what are you wanting to see mirrored from your own inner coding out in the world. We know that there is an inner temple and an outer temple. You know, this is a beautiful place of understanding what is our deepest calling at this point, and what is it that is still calling you forward in the gifts that you're taking out to the world. So beautiful as our 3rd rose. So we're going to draw 5 in our rose reading for this particular time, and I'm going to do an unwinding and a winding process when we complete the grid. So we have got rose 4. We've got the 4th rose to come forward for the grid. And she is Rose Mars 7. And she says, I am receptive. So perhaps there's something here where you need to open to receive, open to be really present and to receive all of the riches and the guidance that will help you navigate through this time with the best and highest pathway available. We are very programmed to give. We are very programmed to look after, and this rose is calling us to take that in-breath as well as the out-breath. Really conscious of opening to receive, whether that's divine guidance, whether that's, you know, the cheery wave and support from a loved one or a friend that we're all dearly missing, that kind of contact. So this rose is really calling us deep within. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. She's quite yoni shaped actually. There's a real luscious, divine feminine energy that is connected to her. Hi Maureen, hi Diane, and yeah, it's just lovely to see everybody popping up at this time. So let's see what our 5th rose is on this grid for this evening. And we have Rose Angel 6. And Rose Angel 6 is all about speaking. She's all about this trusting our gut wisdom to speak our truth, to be able to really fully express what it is that is our inner knowing. It's that inner wisdom that we all are being called to share at this point. You know, to be able to voice what's going on and also to share our insights around this process. This is a powerful and often overlooked rose actually in the Rose Oracle. She has a particularly delicate but really clear way of expressing herself. So I'm just going to close this window because the wind's getting up and I'm aware that I'm being blown around here. And so I'm going to work with the beautiful pendulum Thoth, and I'm going to work an unwinding process that is going to release anything with these 5 rose energies that we can release to assist our journey forward at this point. So for those of you that are not familiar with this process, this allows the pendulum to work anti-clockwise to release anything that this grid can release for us of any density, any contraction, any challenge points in our process around our pathway forward and clarity in being able to speak. So what we've got here in our 5 roses is this place of receiving wisdom from the wisdom teachers, either on the earth plane or in the light realms, to being open to hear the whispered messages and the guidance that is unique for us at this point, to open to joy, to open to allow the immune system to do its work and to be supportive for us at its very best, to start to vision our future, to start to vision a very clear pathway of how we want to feel and how we want our life to start to form in its next process. We all know there is no going back. The process we are in is future forward. So looking at the qualities that you hold, looking at the gifts that you have, what is needing to be refined and aligned in this process so that you are ready as we walk through the portal of this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at the winter solstice, to really start to activate your gifts and what it is that you've come here to share. Hi Kasha. So we are going to run the unwinding process. So just be aware of the energies of the roses that we've brought forward this evening, and if you would like to put a hand on your higher heart chakra and open to let the unwinding process release anything that is contracting or in any way feeling heavy for you right now, to release it on the loving power of the roses. And we know that when we release things for ourselves, that we release for the collective too. So it's a very steady unwinding process. It's very strong. So it's releasing anything of the past that is outworn for us, and is allowing for there to be space. Every time we are able to release another little piece of our story, we can bring in more light. It gives us the opportunity to bring more light quotient into our field, and that opens up new possibilities, new potentialities, and from that point everything can change. So it is powerful. And so the pendulum is just beginning to slow down. So, and is just beginning to turn around clockwise. And the clockwise process is a winding in process. So I invite you to allow in those whispered messages from your inner tutors, your inner teachers, and those both on the earthly realms and on the light realms that can offer you insight, wisdom and guidance at this point. Just take a nice easy breath in and receive that. And then we've got Rose 3, the joy, breathing in the openness to joy. and to experiencing joy and feeling as you breathe that joy in, how your energy field expands with that. Rose Bagua 9. So she's calling us to start to vision. We are visionary beings. We need to vision and hold sacred the codes of light that we hold and that are accessed through the fifth dimensional higher heart field. This is our place of unconditional love. This is our place of connection going forward. And if we tune in there and we breathe in there, we can start to vision forward. And as I said a little earlier in this, we can start then to run an energetic ribbon to that vision and start to breathe in those qualities of beingness into present time. And then we've got Rosemar 7, I am receptive, opening into that place of being open to receive allows for the gifts to start to arrive. And Rose Angel 6, and she's saying, you know, I speak and I know myself, and to my own self I am true, and so I speak in alignment to that inner knowing. This place on the throat that Rose Angel 6 holds has got a direct connection to the sacral chakra, and that sacral chakra is, you know, I am. This is who I am in my essence. And when we come into that place, we connect into that place, it allows for the truth to arise from self-love, self-value and self-esteem. So when we speak from that place, it is received by that place. Truth has a vibration that is known. When we speak from the heart, it is received by the heart. So when we breathe in these luscious energies, our energy field is filled again with the pure love that is at the heart of the rose. She holds that place of mastery and mystery. She is the Rosa Mystica. She is the mystery of life at her very core. And so she can invite us into this deepest connection with ourselves. This path of sacred homecoming truly is the only path, and all else is but the journey to it. It is a pilgrimage to love, if you like. So I'm going to finish this evening This is a violet or a gold bowl of mastery, and she carries the codes of the roses to your heart. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a good evening, have a good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Sending you the love and the blessings of the roses, and I will put in the thread here a picture of the grid. And if you've got the Rose Oracle, you can create the grid for yourself and work with the energies. This is a time of sacred homecoming. There is nothing more for us. Sending you much love and gratitude to you for joining me this evening. Bye for now.